Hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so most of y'all already know my glasses. I buy every color that I can, and the bigger the better, because I like to annoy my husband, okay? I do. It's kind of fun. But also, I introduced you to Miss Amberlynn Reed, but I didn't introduce you to the person that she's mouthing about and giving the most heck to right now. And that is her ex, Beck. And they were together for quite a few years, and it's not her most recent ex. It wasn't her recent ex before that, but Ms. Beck is spilling a lot of tea about Miss Amberlynn, and there's no one better to tell you about Miss Amberlynn than Beck. It's about time Beck come out and spill their own little beans about Amberlynn, because Amberlynn won't keep Beck's name out of her mouth. So let me go ahead and introduce you. You ready? Oh, and yeah, there's a lot of edits in the beginning because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to say this. But everything in here is my opinion and only my opinion. And this is for your entertainment only. So whatever you hear coming out of my mouth, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. I'm just here to have fun.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be reacting to Oh Lordy, It's Jordy's Amberlynn and Beck Season 4 Q&A. I haven't watched this video beforehand, so this is going to be my first impression of it.
I haven't watched this video either. I recorded it and I was like, okay, well, we'll just watch it together at the same time. There ain't nothing wrong with that, now is there? No, let's just go on and see what we can get ourselves into together.
Just like the Mr. Snowflake video, I'm going to be trying to...
Oh, I should have done that one first. But we'll go on to that one a little bit later. I forgot that one was first. Yep. My bad.
Answer as many questions as possible. But if there's anything I'm uncomfortable with, then I will skip over it and let you guys know.
Well, you know what? We don't expect you to answer anything that you're uncomfortable with. That's what the point of this is. You just let out as much as you want to let out, and if you don't feel like it, don't do it. Nobody should make you feel uncomfortable. Amberlynn's done enough of that, don't you think?
I want to thank Oh Lordy, It's Jordy for getting these questions together and making this video for me to react to. I also wanted to let you guys know my last video on ghost stories is up, and I'd really...
Yeah, they aren't only trying to just dish about Amberlynn, you know. They're trying to do more and more on their channel to just get away from Amberlynn and make something else of their channel. You know, going on adventures and things like that. So, they're trying to just get the little toes in the water for something else besides... like I said, Amberlynn.
Really appreciate it if you give it a watch. I'm definitely going to be doing more videos like it in the future. But
yeah, if you can get away from Amberlynn, get away from Amberlynn. You've had enough of Amberlynn. You've had plenty.
Next time it will be fan submitted stories instead, so keep an eye out for that. Also, I'm going to go live today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so look out for that.
Well, you know what? I don't know exactly when you went live. I am so sorry, but I need to keep my eye out for that one as well, don't I? I don't keep my eye out very well sometimes. Yeah.
So let's get started.
I'm ready for this. So y'all ready for this? We're going to hear some tea about Amberlynn. And hopefully, guys, this will get you just a little bit more understanding of how awful Amberlynn really is off camera. She is, my opinions only, like I said, she is horrible. She is absolutely horrible to people off camera.
Hey, hi, how are ya?
And Oh Lordy, It's Jordy is just another reaction channel. There's plenty, there are plenty of reaction channels out there for Miss Amberlynn. Trust me, because as you already know, Amberlynn is pretty boring on camera.
I think I could pull that off more if I had pink hair and looked like Voldemort. Never mind.
Okay, so who he's mocking right there is a person named Jeffree Star, and they're in the beauty community.
So this is going to be the video that Beck will receive to react to if...
Oh, well, and like, okay, so like they said, there was one before this one, and I will get to reacting to that one too. I'm going to get to talking about that one too, so you'll get an even better understanding of Amberlynn.
They so choose to do so. Beck is recently been launching a reaction series to reaction channels.
And Miss Amberlynn has been wanting to do anything that has to do with reacting to Beck. she can't take it. She just cannot keep her mouth shut when it comes down to it.
And getting the community involved in asking questions that they have always wondered.
And Beck kept their mouth shut as long as Amberlynn would keep her mouth shut. Amberlynn would not keep Beck's name out of her mouth. And so now Beck is saying, you know what? Up for grabs. Here we go. Hold on.
What occurred during what I refer to as season 4 of Amberlynn Reid. So let's just get started, Beck.
That's the way I look at it. There's no easy way to jump in whenever you're talking about Amberlynn. And you automatically have to feel sorry for Beck. You automatically do, because she was in this relationship.
These are coming straight from my community, and on my behalf, it'll go through the Jordy filter, so to speak. Okay, so the first question is from someone named Raven Elise.
And I've got to stop this quite often so that it doesn't get, copyright claimed, because I don't want that to happen at all. And Beck is a very, very nice person, so I'm not too worried about that. But I still want to make sure that I stop it enough. And I just like how Jordy is going through his community and allowing his community to ask these questions to Beck, because we've always had questions about the relationship between Beck and Amberlynn, because we've always wanted to know what was going on behind the scenes. But we knew we couldn't get the truth until hopefully Beck came out or Wifey came out. But we don't think we're ever going to hear from Wifey.
And I actually wonder this as well. Amberlynn is immobile, or close to immobile, during the time that you spent with her during your season. Raven and I.
And see, there was somebody who commented and said she can actually get up and she's mobile for 500 pounds. Well, the thing is, she wasn't always mobile. She actually laid in bed for a long time, and she had to get herself some sponge baths because she couldn't get out of bed. And there was a bed put in the living room floor. Her mattress was was put in the living room floor so that she could be in the living room, because she couldn't be on the couch. Pretty much. We all knew it, but she would not admit it at the time. And this was drama and tea from then. And we all wanted to ask Beck this. And so I'm not for sure if she's going to go ahead and react to this and say yes. I don't even know. I just, here we go, Janet rambling. Shut up, Janet.
Would like to know, what does Amberlynn do with all of her time?
Oh, okay. Let's get into the juicy.
This is something that you guys probably already know about her, but it depends on what she's into in the moment.
Oh, no flashing lights. You can't do that. It does bother some people, Beck.
Like, it could be reading and being on her computer for hours upon hours at a time. She would have so many tabs open, and it would just be like YouTube, shopping.
She really has nothing else to do with her day. And still, to this day, she has nothing else to do with her day. So you can't expect anything more.
She would have her personal journal that she would write in open. I don't know. Sometimes I didn't even know, because I didn't even really see a lot of her computer or her phone. She was also on her phone.
Why would Beck want to pay that much attention to Amberlynn if Amberlynn was just going to lay in bed and not do anything, and Beck was up and mobile? Why would Beck want to be anywhere around her? That's my question. Beck was not in a very good mental state when they were with Amberlynn in the first place.
But I was aware of the many different tabs that she was on, because another thing with Amber was no matter what she was doing or what we were doing, she could only handle it for so long, and then she would have to switch to something else.
Oh, so she doesn't have any patience. That's what it sounds like to me. She has no patience for anything. And that's kind of the way she comes across on camera, too. To me, that's how it comes off. It may be something completely different.
So if we were watching a movie or a TV show or something, we could only watch so much of it, and then she would pause it, and we'd have to do something else for a little while before we come back to it. She also was really into puzzles and Legos.
Things that she could do by herself. She didn't need you. You were just there.
videos and journaling. And one thing that took up a lot of time was this game that she would force me to play called Choosy, where she would take a bunch of like thousands of stickers like she bought.
Oh, okay. So I've been seeing this a lot in thumbnails and stuff, playing Choosing. I didn't know what it was about. I just saw it I'm seeing it everywhere, and I'm going, what is that all about? Why are, all these videos being made? Now I understand why it was being made, is because it came up in here. Okay.
Stickers, and had me pick between them all the way down until I picked one single sticker to be the best sticker of all. And she made me do this with buttons and earrings.
Yes. Okay. I get it now. I understand it now. Okay. Yeah, we're clarifying it. Like I said, yeah, I watch these things with y'all, so when I seem clueless, I really am clueless.
Calendar pages. She would buy a bunch of small calendars and tear the pages out and then have me pick between the pictures down to which one I liked the most. And Croc Charms. She would make me play Choosy between Croc Charms, and she didn't even own a pair of.
It sounds like just childish stuff. That's what it sounds like. She just never outgrew, and she wanted everybody to pick her. To me, that's what it sounds like. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but she wants to be the pick of the litter. Pick her, pick her.
Crocs. She just had thousands of Croc Charms for no reason. And sometimes, because there were so many, like with stickers and earrings, it would take hours and sometimes even days to completely get down to just one.
Is that the reason why she wanted earrings all the time? And why she was, doing Depop earrings and things like that? Is because she was only wanting to keep her favorite one, and she wanted to get down to just the nitty-gritties of it. And is that why she did that? I don't know. That's kind of weird. It does make you question.
And another thing that would take up a lot of time is she would set a timer for 45 minutes to an hour, usually. And she would have me sit behind her.
Okay, I've heard about timers and things like that. I don't know where this one's going, so if I have to edit, I'm sorry. But I don't know. We'll see where this is going.
And pretend to pick lint off of her back.
Really? Like a monkey? You had to groom her? Like... Okay.
Because she liked the way it felt and sounded because of ASMR. And...
Wasn't she diagnosed with ASMR? I wonder if she had to have I wonder if it had to be like a certain kind of material. If, because we all know she had those dresses that she wore as shirts, and she was like, I like this material, I don't like this material, this one fits me right, this one doesn't fit me right. I wonder if she had to have, the way my mind works, okay? Bing, bing, bong. We always know it goes this way and that way. Okay.
She would have me do this for so long that my arms and stuff would hurt. And whenever I would want to stop, she would sigh and just be like, well, I'm going to pause the timer.
Spoiled, rotten little brat. That's what that is. Don't you huff and puff unless you're running. That's the only time you need to be huffing and puffing. And I don't think she's running, so she don't need to be huffing and puffing. That's the way I look at it. You ain't no daggum dog. Don't you be coming out here roughing and roughing.
So she would pause the timer for my little break, and then I'd have to immediately go back to it, and she would unpause the timer again. Sometimes I would catch her not unpausing the timer.
Oh, okay. And yeah, let me add this in there. Miss Amberlynn had Beck quit their job, and so Beck could stay at home with Amberlynn. And once Beck quit their job and became financially reliant on Amberlynn for all of her funds, Amberlynn took over Beck's life. Yes. And that's something you never want to allow somebody else to do, is fully take everything that you have from you and give it to your partner or whomever it can be, and to where you lose everything. In my opinion, you lose everything about yourself. And we watched that with Beck. You can hear it in Beck's voice, unfortunately.
Because she would want me to do it for longer.
Next up, we have a question from Gracie. I don't know if that's a reference to a specific animal, but Gracie asked this question.
Okay, Gracie was a cat. I'm just telling you this because I know I have a lot of new viewers that don't know who Amberlynn is. And if you already know, I'm sorry. I really am. I just want to introduce Beck correctly. One of Amberlynn's exes had an elderly cat named Gracie. And Amberlynn wanted her own cat and wanted to name it Wasabi. Well, in the apartment complex, they were not allowed to have more than 2 animals, or 3 animals. I think it was 2. And the other roommate already had an animal, and Gracie, Destiny's cat, would make 2. So they had to wait until something happened to Gracie for her to get her cat Wasabi. Well, it just so happens that we get a story at one point where Gracie ran out the door while, she was letting the dog out, or Amberlynn was letting the dog out, and Amberlynn went and caught the dog and caught Gracie, brought her back inside, and then all of a sudden, somebody, don't know who it is, somebody let the door open and Gracie ran out and the cat was gone. And Amberlynn took it like a champ. She went and got herself a cat immediately and named it Wasabi.
Gracie wants to know, when did the relationship between you and Amberlynn go from bad to worse? I know that people tend to...
You know what? I think the day that they got together was bad. I think that was bad. I think it was bad on both of them. My opinion.
Put on their best face when they first get into relationships and slowly leak out the toxicity as they get along. So
Amber reeks of toxicity. I mean, she just does. You can just tell in her personality and the way she treats people from the get-go. She had this trait about her that drew me in. And drew me in and drew me in. It was more of a whole thing of you know what, she can change. Everybody can change. Everybody can change. Everybody can. And it was manipulation and manipulation and manipulation. But it was toxic. It was completely toxic. And you can tell from the beginning. Most people can tell from the very beginning, oh, no, that's toxic manipulation right there. Most people can tell. My husband could tell. He was like, woman, you stupid. Actually, he said a couple other things. He was like, oh, one. He was, what? Yeah, he told me I didn't need to be watching her. Yeah. Yep. He in less terms than that, he told me I didn't need to be watching her because she gonna fail at everything in life. He was right, I was wrong. He likes to tell me that too. So he thinks it's funny that I'm talking about her now.
At what point did you realize, oh God, I'm in too deep, or oh God, the honeymoon phase has definitely worn off?
I'm interested in this answer. I say from day one.
In the beginning, things were all right, but there were some signs of her being controlling. Then it got worse whenever we moved in together. And
so I guess from the very beginning, you could see that she was controlling. Is that what you're trying to say, Beck? I don't know. I don't know what then means.
Then even worse whenever I quit my job and started taking care of her. And
wait a second. You quit your job and you started taking care of her? So you admit that you were taking care of her and she was your girlfriend? That don't sound like much of a relationship.
Quote unquote working for her full time. So I feel like that was when I definitely felt like I was too deep in to leave.
Working for her. But she doesn't do anything. She sits at home all day. All you would have to do is drive her around. That's the only thing you would have to do unless you just... Beck, I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I'm sorry that I watched some of that. I'm sorry I did.
Princessa would like to know, were there ever times during when you were in renal failure that you felt unsafe to drive?
Beck walked around the house like a mummy. They did. Completely. Empty. Facial expressions, eyes, body, movements, everything. Nothing there. You know what Amberlynn did? You know what she did? I'm hungry. Go get me food. I want to go to Walmart. Can you take me to Target? That's how much Amberlynn cared. Sad. But I watched it.
Whether it be to how you felt from your condition or from being heavily medicated, that Amberlynn sort of pitched a bitch and demanded that you go get her fast food.
That's the thing. Amberlynn will always throw a hissy fit like no others. But the thing is she doesn't throw she throws a mad hissy fit. And sometimes you'll catch her behind the scenes, you know, because she lived with this other vlogger person that she got into vlogging named Eric, which is Beck's best friend at the time. And he caught Amberlynn a couple of times behind the scenes and how she really was. And yeah, he showed Amberlynn in not such a good light.
Went to Walmart, run her errands. Were there ever times where you felt this is not a good idea, but if I don't do it, it will unleash the beast, so I better do it?
I think Beck saw that beast a lot more than they needed to see it. Or should have seen it. Because I think Amberlynn had an excuse for every single time. No matter what. I think Amberlynn used some kind of excuse.
As you guys know, at that time, I was heavily medicated and I should not have been on the road, and I put myself in danger and other people in danger.
But imagine that. Imagine that. Beck's saying that they shouldn't have been driving whatsoever at all, but they would rather drive at the possibility of hurting themselves or someone else besides going home and being around Amberlynn and having to listen to Amberlynn and all of her bullcrap. Imagine that. I never thought of it that way until I opened my eyes and I realized what she was doing. You want to know somebody that helped me do that? Jordan. Show Jordan somebody and Jordan will go, Mom, and he'll tell you all about it. Read head to toe. He'll tell you all about it. Love them.
I wish I could go back and tell myself it wasn't worth it to take those risks. I'm aware that I should not have been on the road during that time. But from what I remember, I didn't really feel like I was...
I don't even think you remember hardly anything from that time. Because you don't... I don't think that you want to remember things from that time. I mean, if you had the opportunity to remember those things, I don't think you would want to. Or I know I wouldn't want to remember things like that, because I can only imagine the kind of turmoil that she was forcing onto you. We'll just put it that way.
Making a conscious decision. I just knew that I felt bad, but I wasn't sure what was causing it at the time. I was afraid to leave, but I was being pressured to take care of others, specifically Amber's needs.
So imagine that. You can't take care of yourself because you got to take care of a grown adult. A grown adult. You got to go take care of her. So you can't take care of yourself. You come second. It's not like you're taking care of a child. No, you're taking care of a grown adult who doesn't want to get up out of the bed.
Even though I know now that I had a choice, at the time I felt like I didn't, and I will always regret that.
Peyton Ford asks, how long was the mattress in the living room where you got...
Ooh, okay, yep. I want to know this one. I want to know this one. I want to know it. Okay.
guys lived, and whose idea was it to put a mattress arbitrarily in the middle of a living room for Amberlynn to...
Amberlynn would not tell the truth on this mattress. Like I said, we all knew it was in the living room for her. We all knew this. She would not tell us why, though. Would not tell us why. She would give us some, come along story. That's about it. She would never just admit to why.
Loiter on.
It was over a period of, I want to say, about 2 years. Whenever she would want to hang out in the living room, I would have to drag the mattress out. And when we were done hanging out, I would have to drag it back.
Are you kidding me? Leave her up in that bedroom. I feel horrible about myself. I feel horrible about myself. You know why? Because I've got the videos up on my channel. I'm gonna leave them there. I actually had confidence in Amberlynn. I told her she could do it. Yeah. Now that Beck is starting to speak out, I feel absolutely horrible because I didn't know at the time how she was. Sorry, Beck. I never should have supported her. It is my own fault that I did. That's why I'm now doing this. Because I never should have said anything about Amberlynn.
Into the spare bedroom. It wasn't the bed that we slept on. It was my bed from before we were together, and it stayed in the spare bedroom. So it didn't stay in there all the time, but I did drag it back and forth.
I don't think Eric and Ricky would want that mattress in the living room all the time, because I think Ricky acted like... Ricky is Eric's husband. Ricky didn't hold back whenever it came to Amberlynn, so I don't think Ricky would allow that to stay in there all the time. Ricky popped off at Amberlynn. It was actually pretty funny.
For many days over the course of a few years. But it was all Amber's idea, and it was because she would get uncomfortable sitting on the couch because her ankles would swell, and it would just be more comfortable for her to be able to stretch her legs out. And
I'm so glad that I'm getting to listen to Beck actually talk. Beck has stayed silent for so long. So long. Now we're getting to hear how they really feel. Yeah.
There were also other reasons that I won't disclose.
Orion Mars asks, was there ever a point during your relationship with Amberlynn when you guys were still going on double dates with Destiny and Dana that Destiny kind of tried to...
They are saying, okay, Destiny is one of Amberlynn's exes that everybody says Amberlynn never got over. And it was the ex right before Beck. So... And, okay, here's the thing. Beck was Becky, okay? Beck is no longer wanting to be called Becky. She is now they. And so we call Beck by Beck now, and we no longer say she. So every time that you see a break in the footage, when I look at this and I look back at the live stream that, the picture of the live stream that's up, I'm saying the old part of I'm not saying currently what Beck goes by. So I'm having to chop that out. So that's why you're seeing so many cuts in this. I'm sorry, guys. I want to be respectful. As possible, I want to be respectful.
To give you hints or kind of suggest to you that being in a relationship with Amber wasn't a good idea, or say something along the lines of encouraging you to get away from Amber?
I don't think once Amber's got her hooks in you, kind of like, as a viewer too, when she's got her hooks in you, I think you're stuck until you open your eyes. It takes you to open your own eyes. It really does. You have to sit back and you have to think for yourself. It's kind of like I said, my husband already knew. My kids already knew. It was me trying to have false hope. Yeah, well, that bit me in the bottom.
No, she never really like nudged me or tried to get me to do that or anything, but there were plenty of times where she would look at me and be like, I don't know how you put up with her. And they would also bicker and argue a lot.
You know what? I think everybody bickered and argued with Amberlynn. I think everybody did. That's what I saw a lot of. And I'm going, man, nobody can get along with her. And I thought, I was like, oh, I wonder why nobody can get along with this woman. Should have seen it, shouldn't I?
When they would be around each other, it was just how their dynamic was too.
So there's a person that typically comes onto social media and creates a little bit of an uproar every so often by the name of Annie Doran.
Oh, okay. All right, Annie Doran is somebody that was with Beck's mom. Unfortunately, Beck's mom passed away. And so, yeah, I kind of wanted to hear who this person is. I just know the name.
Would you mind discussing a little bit who Annie Doran is, your relation to Annie Doran, and any of the claims that Annie Doran has made that you are aware of?
So this is a question that I've wanted to address for a while.
And we kind of would love to know the answer to it, because once they pop up, they leave. Pop up, cause drama, leave.
But I wasn't sure how to approach it. I do see her comments here and there, and it does make me uncomfortable to see her still talking about my mom. So Anne got a hold of my mom because my mom was selling wreaths.
Oh, so it's one of those online things, that's why they tell you, meet somewhere in public, somewhere you feel safe. Is this going to be one of them stories? Oh, goodness gracious.
That she made, and she asked Amber to advertise them on YouTube, and she did. So Anne got a hold of my mom and bought a wreath from her, and she just continued to talk.
Are you allowed to do that on YouTube? I don't know. Amberlynn did some things she got in trouble for doing it on YouTube, and they said she knew better, but she did it anyways. She had to take down a couple of videos. I don't know.
To my mom after that as if she wanted to be friends with her, and my mom thought she really wanted to be friends, but the more she talked to her, the more my mom realized that Anne was only in for it.
Beck, here's my question. No disrespect, no nothing. Here's my question. Why would your mom want to be friends with a complete and total stranger? I mean, that would just be... okay. Shut up, Janet!
For Amber, she was obsessed with Amber, and she wanted to know everything about Amber. And because my mom and Amber weren't getting along at that point, my mom did say some things to Anne.
So they used your mom to get to Amberlynn. There are some shisty people out there. There really are.
About Amber, which you guys had seen in that screenshot with those voice notes. But there were times that she would say negative things about me to my mom, and it felt like she was trying to come between me and my mom.
It's probably because she wanted to cause some kind of heartache to somebody. Why not just take your mom away from you? Take your mom away from Amberlynn? Take your mom away from everybody? Why not? Just separate you. Cut all contact. Why not?
And I don't mean things that were brought up on YouTube. I mean, there were random things that were just blatant lies. She lied a lot. And as for the things that I know she has said, the story about her being stuck in the shower and the fire department having to be called did...
Ooh, okay. We're going to start in on some rumors now, aren't we? A lot of them weren't believed, so...
happen. I don't know where she would have gotten that story. I know my mom definitely didn't say that. And as for Amber weighing 700 pounds, that also isn't true that I know of. The most that I was aware of her weighing was like 570 or 80 something.
Okay, see, this is how it works with Amberlynn. You can say some of the worst things about Amberlynn. Say she got stuck in a bathtub. Say she's 700 pounds. People are going to believe it. Say it. Why not? People are going to believe it. You want to know why? Because it's Amberlynn. She lies. She does this stuff all the time. And new people find her channel every day. And new people cheer her on every day. And then you learn it's pointless. It's just a pattern. It really is pointless.
And after that, she just stopped weighing herself around me. So I really have no idea how much she ended up weighing. But I don't think it was 700 pounds. And I don't know where she would have got that information from.
In her mind. Why not? Make stuff up. Like I said, it's Amberlynn. People are going to believe you.
Was there ever a single lie that stuck out to you more than any of the others? Raven Elise would like to know.
Is it a lie that Amberlynn told or a lie that somebody else told? Or you got to be more specific here. Which kind of lie are we talking about? Because there's plenty of lies going on.
Was there anything that Amberlynn told her audience where you just thought to yourself, wow, I cannot believe that she is that confident lying about that?
RAPE. Rain and Petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. That was before Beck, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, there were times whenever she would show in a what I ate in a day video, she wouldn't exactly show everything that she ate. She would just show you guys what she thought.
Yeah, we all assumed that. Yeah, we all assumed that. I still assume that each day. Each time she does, oh, what I ate today. Nah, I figured.
Was acceptable for you guys to see, and then just not even talk about the other things that she would eat. So I was just always shocked that she really thought people would believe that. And I think you guys already know this, but there were many days that she would film lots of videos in one day.
Yeah, just kind of like those answering, 100 questions, 25 a day, and then she finally came out because everybody was like, you answered them all in one day. You just changed your shirt. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Then finally she admits to it. Yep, I answered all of them in one day because I was busy. She's changed her shirt. That's what she does. Her job is a vlogger. That's her job. And she will sometimes work one day out of the week, if that's what she wants to do. She'll come up with a video or some kind of idea where she can just do it all in one day. And if she can get it all done in one day, she's done for 7 days. Why not? Wouldn't you like to do that?
And she would switch her outfits to make it more convincing that it was different days. And she would also ask me to change my outfits to make it more convincing for those videos.
Imagine that. You just got to follow on for a lie. You have to lie so that somebody else can lie. And you can't say anything about you lying for somebody else.
Aisha asks if there were ever times where you would deliberately take longer during the errands that Amber...
I'd run. Now? I'd run. I would. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to the store. I'd go the next state over.
Lynn would send you on just so that you could have more time away from her.
Absolutely, yes, I would. I did it every single time, every chance I got. That's also what I would do in the bathroom a lot. I would...
Okay, yes, I'm pausing a lot, but still. So, you can't do that with her food, though. Because wouldn't she get mad at you because she would order food or get you to order the food? She would want her food back at a certain, reasonable time, matter of time. So I don't think you could do that with food. Maybe other things, but I don't think with food because we all know how Amberlynn likes her food.
Pretend to be using the bathroom for a long time, but I would really just be in there having my peace.
So we have all been clued in on what really happened with Amberlynn and the wiping situation. It was not just solely something that...
Okay, so it finally came out that Amberlynn was not cleaning herself. Beck was the girlfriend and the nurse at the same time. And not only the nurse when Amberlynn had the C word. It was beyond that.
took place after her hysterectomy. There was a lot of upkeep on your end in terms of Amberlynn's personal hygiene. What was Ricky and Eric's involvement in that, if anything? Did Eric and Ricky ever help wash?
No. Ooh, I can tell you that. Ricky would have told her off. Ricky would have just taken her and just whoop right out the door. I cannot believe they even remained friends. I can't believe that.
Did they ever help do anything, or did they just kind of look at you and say, well, she's your girlfriend, that's your problem?
It was definitely the latter. They were just basically like, well, it's your girlfriend, your responsibility. You know, you really shouldn't have to be doing these things anyway. But of course they weren't going to help, but understandably, and they should not have had to.
Well, at least you took the responsibility on for yourself because you knew. You knew. You did walk around like a zombie, though. I think you were just going through the patterns because you knew you had to go through the patterns and there was nothing else you could do in life at that moment. That's what I think.
The next question is, do you know or remember what exactly happened after the "is that my cereal" incident?
Okay, yeah. Amberlynn got filmed behind the scenes by Eric, who, lived there and was a vlogger because Amberlynn turned him into one. Yeah, Amberlynn, Beck was eating a bowl of cereal on the end of the couch, and Amberlynn walks through the door and says, just doesn't say it loud, didn't know Eric was behind her, and Amberlynn says, "Is that my cereal?" talking to Beck, and Beck is eating cereal, and Amberlynn's getting all, but not saying anything really. She's just, all we get to see is the back of her head. So now we're going to find out. We're going to find out what that's about because nobody ever knew what that was about. So I think we're going to find out what that's about.
When Amberlynn approached you when you were sitting on the couch in the living room and said very kind of furiously, "What cereal is that?"
Yeah, because it was probably her cereal, wasn't it? Was it Amberlynn's? You don't eat her food. No, the one thing you don't do is touch Amberlynn's food. Yeah, Amberlynn didn't seem very happy.
And you covered for her by saying, "What's that over there?" And Amberlynn stomped off.
They may be wondering, we have 6 people here. Why'd you guys? Huh?
What is that over there?
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? I'm glad they had that clip because I was gonna have to go searching. But yeah, see what I'm talking about? Hey, she's so nice behind the scenes. Go ahead, baby. Just treat Beck like she's trash. She's just so nice behind the scenes.
Was there a follow-up to that? Were there ever moments where food aggression was very apparent with Amberlynn?
I think we had recently discussed dieting and counting calories, and it was cereal that we had already had, and I didn't want it to go to waste, but I think it's because she was upset.
It sounds like you're trying to cover for her. Don't cover for her. Don't do it. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. She was stomping. You could hear her. You could hear her. Beck. Was this one of your zoned out times? I'm not being rude, not being mean, I'm not in any of that. But it's kind of like, the cake time and stuff like that. I just let her be mean.
At the fact that we had talked about eating healthy and I was eating the Cocoa Puffs. But we all know that the diet was going to be over in a few hours anyway, because that's just how she was.
Yeah, she's never been able to stick to a diet no matter how much she pays for it.
So usually I would have been trying to take the diet seriously, but that day I just knew the diet wouldn't last and I ate the Cocoa Puffs. As for the food aggression, I feel like she did have some food aggression, but I don't really have any specific examples.
You know what? She's a spoiled child. Now I can look at it and be like, she is a spoiled child. Yeah. My kids, they don't act like that. My kids know not to act like that.
Because I feel like I was spared from that because we had very different tastes in food and I just never really wanted to try what she had.
Oh, yeah, you should see some things that Miss Amberlynn comes up with. You've seen it. I've showed you some of her stuff, and I'm like, put that down. Don't you eat that. I won't eat that. She ain't even begun some of it. Wait till she gets to chili.
Could you tell us in your words what exactly happened with the Jonesy rings that you used to propose to Amber in the infamous video and the screenshots that followed along?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Okay, so Beck proposed to Amberlynn with these rings, and Amberlynn said she was all happy-go-lucky about these rings and saying Beck bought these rings, and I don't know what he's going to say, so I don't want to say too much because I keep saying too much, and then they explain it, and then I feel like, Okay, we're going to see what they say first.
In what the community refers to as Ringgate.
So I did try to sell them on a Facebook marketplace, but no one wanted them. So Amber did catch wind of it and she wanted them back. I don't know what she wanted them back for. I guess maybe to try to sell herself.
Okay, so Amberlynn did come back and her engagement rings, she acted like they were like really expensive or something, and I think they were only like $900 or something like that. And I say only, but you know, compared to what Amberlynn was trying to say they were worth when Beck went to sell them, Beck put, you know, the value on them, and everybody was just shocked at how Amberlynn reacted. But Amberlynn was the one that picked them out in the first place, so it just became this big, huge thing. And when Beck was trying to sell them, Amberlynn got mad because she didn't want Beck to have the money, because Amberlynn was the one making the money anyways, and Beck just had access to the account. You know what I'm saying? Beck wasn't making any money, even though Beck was supposed to be making money because Beck was on live streams with Amberlynn.
But I don't know. I ended up giving her one of them back and I lost the other one by the time I'd gotten the other one to her.
So you only got one to her? So I bet you she was mad, wasn't she? She's not a pretty sight when she's mad.
Strawberry Shortcake asks, if Amberlynn admitted to free bleeding, were you also expected during your time with Amber to clean up after all human bodily functions?
Oh my goodness gracious, you're going to answer this? Beck. Oh! It's up here, so you're going to answer it. Can we just call you a nurse instead of girlfriend? Can we just say that? Or fiance, because you were engaged. So can we just call you a nurse? Can we call you a caretaker? Sorry, my editor jumped on me. Can we just call you one?
Yeah, I knew about the free bleeding and I did have to sometimes clean up after it, but that's all I'll really say about that.
Oh, okay. Self-esteem. Beck, self-esteem. I know it was low. I'm glad you're getting it back. I know you're getting it back because you're talking out about her. Good job.
Anna Cottrell wants to ask if, and of course you don't have to disclose the answer to this, are there things that you are taking to the grave, so to speak, when it comes to Amberlynn?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I wouldn't want to admit. I wouldn't want to admit a lot of things, especially having to sleep next to her. Because, like I said, whenever you break up, she had anxiety issues, and you break up with her, and she wouldn't want you to leave the bed. She was like, no, you gotta sleep with me, you gotta sleep with me, you gotta stay with me, and slowly leave the bed. That's what she would want you to do.
Are there certain details or events that happened that, no matter how juicy the drama or the ability for you to profit or get clout off of it or anything of the sort?
Beck has kept their mouth shut this entire time. Beck has gone on other channels and talked because they didn't want to sit here and go, oh, well, you know what, I'm spilling all this for money. That's not what Beck has been trying to do. Beck has been saying, I'm not trying to get anything out of this. I just want Amberlynn to quit talking about me. When Amberlynn wouldn't stop, Beck finally just had enough, and she's like, all right. Beck's like, come on, let's go. And now Beck is opening up, and here we go.
Are there things that happened in your relationship with Amberlynn that you plan on never disclosing to the world?
Yes, there are some things that I do keep to myself just because they are embarrassing and wouldn't be very kind to share with the world.
Are you afraid of Amberlynn maybe sharing them? Because think about it, Amberlynn was saying she's got tea on you. She's got some major tea on you, and you wouldn't like it if it was shared. And we know sometimes Amberlynn doesn't know right from wrong. She doesn't care, is what it is. She doesn't care at all. She'll embarrass you and embarrass herself. It's just like whatever. Because Amberlynn knows everybody's going to say what they want to say about her. Maybe she wants you to feel the same way.
And though Amber has called me a liar and money hungry and has tried to embarrass me, my goal has never been to do those things to her. I only wanted to tell my story and to help her see that she needs to take some accountability.
Never. Nope. It will not happen. She didn't even take accountability for RAPE, Rain and Petals Eavesdrop. She didn't even take accountability for that. That she's the one that did that.
Isabel Schumacher asks, during the transition between your season and Jade's season, season 5, was Jade kind to you? Did Jade kind of make the overlap in the relationship?
Jade is also wifey. So it was Beck, wifey, married woman, Tommy.
As easy and not awkward as possible. Did it kind of turn into Amberlynn wanting you out of there and Jade in? Was it sort of like a 2 versus 1 situation, or did Jade remain neutral?
You know, Amberlynn wanted you out, right? Amberlynn wanted you gone. Because once you break up with Amberlynn, you done lit a fire in her. And she's like, you no longer exist to me. I no longer want you in my life. I want you gone. Because that's just how Amberlynn is.
She was kind to my face, but I did find out later on from Eric and Ricky that she would talk about me behind my back. She didn't make it any easier or harder because I was already halfway out the door whenever she moved in.
Amberlynn didn't wait any time. Beck and Amberlynn were together for years. But Amberlynn always has somebody in her DMs, is what everybody says. So, wifey was waiting there on her. It took Amberlynn no time whatsoever at all to go, sorry, guys, let me tell you something. I have a blind dog, okay? This dog will come through my house. She knows everywhere. She will come through my house. She will push me around. She goes and eat when she wants to. She does whatever she owns me. She owns this house, okay? So any noise you hear, it's her. At any point, it's her. I cannot do anything about it. I will not do anything about it. I'm sorry. I'll let her be. So, I don't even know what I was saying at this point because, yeah, she right now has got food scattered all over the floor. She'll pick it up. But, yeah, we just leave her alone.
Lori asks, was there ever an incident or a period of time where you considered calling a mobile crisis team or initiating a 5150 for Amber, maybe staging an intervention?
An intervention would not help Amberlynn whatsoever at all. I mean, nothing's going to help Amberlynn. Absolutely nothing is going to help Amberlynn. Amberlynn can't even help herself at this point because she is so wrapped up in herself. Why would she want to change herself when she's already so perfect?
With people that were in her social circle, did that ever strike your mind as something that might be a good idea?
So I did not realize that you could do something like that, but I think if that were to have happened, she just would have cut everybody off and came back not changing a thing.
Yep, and you would have had a wrath on you unlike any other, because you know what? Her address is your address. And that's one of the worst things that you can do. Run if you don't have anything to do with something like that and you have somebody like Amberlynn. My opinion. Run.
The mattress and litter box that you recently told us about being covered in piss and shit.
Okay, so yeah, this is whenever I said something about, yeah, she says she walks Twinkie. If she says that's what she does. But if you do it, you ain't gotta say it, right? Beck's already said something about this one.
No one was attending to regarding the pets that you came across. Were you responsible for cleaning all of that up and throwing away the mattress? Were there times where you were throwing away mattresses or...
Well, Beck took care of Twinkie and them. And Beck didn't want to leave Amber because of the animals. And look, Beck leaves Amber and goes on her merry little way, and then and Rarity goes. I mean, come on. And Beck offered to take Rarity. That's the crappy part about it.
Things that normally, if they were given ordinary maintenance, you would just kind of throw them away because they were beyond repair, or it was better to just buy a new one instead of clean it.
I was the one who eventually cleaned up the litter boxes. Some people may think that was the first sign to turn around and run, and I should have.
Yeah, you should have. If she can't take care of her pet, she can't take care of herself. I mean, most people put their pets before themselves, just like me. I'm telling you honestly about my dog. I try to tell you just in case you're new. I'll tell you all that racket is her. Just like when I'm outside, I don't get freedom. It's my horses.
But I felt bad for her. At the time, I thought she just needed help. And that was something that Amber could just physically not do, but that's not an excuse to put your animals through that. The bed was beyond saving, and Amber didn't know what to do with it, so she ended up just leaving it behind.
She left it behind for them to deal with? You want to talk about nasty? She's nasty inside and out.
Which is unfair to the people who owned that apartment and had to dispose of it. The only other mattress that we had to get rid of was the one that we slept on for years, and we ended up burning it before we moved to Lexington.
I'm not going to be mean right now. I'm not going to be mean. I really could be mean, and I'm not going to be mean. But it is a good thing to replace your mattress after so many years. Because mattresses are not meant to be used for multiple years. They always say it's healthy to make sure that you replace them. Because springs can't last forever. Cools can't last forever. And sometimes they do give out quite fast.
Alyssa Faye asks, so there were times when you left for upwards of days for time to spend with your family and Amber was left alone at the house. What did you do in the event, or what did she do in the event that you weren't around?
Call and pester her all the time and whine like a little child and say, where are you at? I need help. Come help me. I'm alone. I need somebody to talk to. I don't like this. I didn't want to go with you. You should come back. Something about those lines, probably.
There were a lot of things that she couldn't do without me, so that's why my time away from her or with my family was very limited, because she would try to take care of things on her own, but then she would text me and...
God, turn that daggone phone off. Turn it off. Man, you're with the family. Turn it off. I've done it several times. I turn my location off sometimes when my son needs me, okay? He's like, I can't find you. Oops. Actually, I just forget to turn it back on. I do. I forget to turn it back on because I don't like the little thing beeping at me.
Make me feel bad for not being there to help her do the things that she couldn't do without me. So she would do her best to not do those things that she needed help with while I was gone.
See, she's an immature little child. That's what she is. That's what she is.
Maggie G asks, what were Amberlynn's thoughts about Michael B. Petty? And what I would like to add on to this is
Michael B. Petty is an OG. He was one of the best reactors there were. Just absolutely amazing. He's still a hoot and a right. And if you go and look him up, people still use his clips all the time. All the time.
would Amberlynn look into reaction channels in regards to wanting to sue them or looking up information about them to anonymously spill tea about them?
Amberlynn likes to say she doesn't watch reaction channels. She doesn't go on, she doesn't go looking them up. She doesn't read her comments. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. But she knows an awful lot about what happens on the channels for somebody that don't watch them and don't read the comments.
Would she deliberately create rumors about reaction channels to tarnish their image? Recently, it was disclosed to us by Amberlynn's ex-friend Alexis that Amberlynn paid for my information, and
yeah, that's a little crazy of somebody, ain't it? If Amberlynn thinks you're getting too big for your britches, she's gonna go ahead and she's gonna pay anybody she can to get all the dirt on you she possibly can. Sound like somebody else? Anybody? Anybody else? She'll dox you too. Not a problem whatsoever at all. Won't take no time for her to dox you. She wants to make sure she can dox you at the right time, or she can say something mean and negative to you at the right time. She needs an audience for that.
who knows what she would have done with it? Has she ever done anything, or that you know of during the time that you spent with her, that she kind of went after reaction channels in an unorthodox way?
Oh, she probably sat at home. She probably sat at home and just blew her top constantly. I mean, she goes after Karina Kaboom like crazy. I don't like her. But yeah, she's always directing everything towards her. I mean, Karina can say one thing, next day Amberlynn's like, oh, I didn't do this, I don't watch her, but this is the case. Amberlynn can't help but lie. That woman ain't got a truthful bone in her body.
So there were a lot of reaction channels that she couldn't stand. Like, she couldn't stand Oh Lordy, It's Jordy. She couldn't stand Michael B. Petty. She completely got Kicking Geese taken down, I think.
Oh my goodness. I don't even watch all the reaction channels out there anymore. Oh my goodness. I feel bad now. I used to watch so many reaction channels. I used to. But now that, I'm doing my own, I don't really... I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, okay? If I watch everybody else, I need to make my video and then start watching people after I make my video. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start doing that. And I'm going to start... And I'm going to continue listening to the other one too.
If I'm remembering correctly, she also completely hated CXNT and Charlie Gold. There were so many reaction channels that she just absolutely despised.
Well, we all knew about Charlie. She was just blunt as ever about that.
And I don't know if she really paid for the information or anything, but I do know that she was obsessively watching you guys and just seething with rage.
The reason why I even said anything about the DOX is because her ex-wifey, she ended up doxing her own girlfriend. Everybody found out who wifey was because of Amberlynn. So yeah, Amberlynn ain't scared of nothing.
Magic Flower says that you recently disclosed to us that Amberlynn kept you in the car and prevented you from breaking up with her.
What? How do you do that? How does somebody keep you in the car? How? 2 doors. Amberlynn ain't that fast. Okay.
Was that a normal occurrence? Did that happen pretty frequently where she would tell you, no, you can't break up with me? Or was it just a handful of times that you can remember?
Oh, manipulation, Lynn. mentally. I got you, Beck. I understand.
There were times that we would get into arguments and she would be like, you can't leave this room, or don't you dare walk out on me. But the car thing only happened one time.
That's the thing. If you go to leave her, she can't get up to come after you. I mean, especially at that time, whenever they were at Eric and Ricky's, Amberlynn said she slept on Pillow Mountain. She would stack up, this right here is my cousin's stuff, and I gotta take it to her, and I ain't got that far. So, yeah, I'll move it. But, she had pillows stacked up like this, and this is how she slept. Like that. She slept sitting up. So, it's not like Amberlynn would get up and come after you, girl. But I get it. The manipulation was there.
There were multiple other times I would try to leave her, but she would emotionally manipulate me into staying.
Katsuki's asks if you ever felt like a rebound for Amber or someone that she could use as bait to try to win Destiny back. Did you feel like Amberlynn was just in a relationship with you so that she could have a...
It's somebody else. Each and every single time Amberlynn got out of a relationship, she always had somebody in her messages so she could just bing bong. That's all she had to do. Amberlynn was always ready to go. Is that love? Are you in love with somebody? People say that her only real love that she had ever was Destiny. Not Beck. Not Wifey. Even though she said she loved Wifey. And now then she's crying over, she had her married woman. You know, she said that was just, the love of her life. And then she had her ex, love of her life. Every time she gets with somebody, it's the love of her life. But she's always got somebody in her DMs, and it ain't long before somebody else comes sweeping into her home, where she goes into theirs.
Partner to show Destiny that she could move on.
Honestly, I feel like every girlfriend she gets is a rebound for the previous one. But yes, I did think about that, especially in the beginning of the relationship.
Beck, you kind of got to look at it as, hey, I'm out of it. Yay, I'm out of it, because that's the way I look at it. Hey, I'm out of it. I ain't going back into that. And I'm just going to stay on this side from now on. And I'm glad that you're in a better mental state and you're actually able to speak out on her.
How did Amberlynn really feel about Chantal, or Foodie Beauty? Did she have private opinions on Chantal, or did she...
Chantal is somebody else that's in rural world, and she is another locale.
Like Chantal, did she have nice things to say about Foodie Beauty?
They were on again, off again friends. So, whenever they were friends, Amber really didn't care about her too much, didn't pay too much attention. But whenever they were arguing, Amber did talk bad about her like she does anybody else.
Normal Amberlynn. Stay on her good side, she's good to you. Get on her bad side, and ooh, watch out. That's what I'm saying. The wrath of Amberlynn, you never know how far she's gonna go.
Knives Pilgrim asks if there are actually ways that she is misunderstood by the community or the internet as a whole. Are there things that the reaction channels or the community wildly get wrong, or...
That's going to be a personal question to Beck. I mean, everybody may see that differently. At some point, Beck cared about her. I mean, there's got to be something there, right?
The camera versus real life does not translate well. Are there things that really Amberlynn should be given a little bit of a break on that you can think of?
No, I used to think that they were wrong, but definitely not now.
Well, there you go. Amberlynn ain't worth nothing. She ain't worth nothing in the world. I'm glad she finally said it. Now everybody knows. Amberlynn's just a horrible human being. That's why I decided I'm going to start doing this on Amberlynn. Instead of being nice to Amberlynn and be who I used to be towards Amberlynn and wanting to support her. Yeah, no. No. My eyes opened up wide And then I put sunglasses on so I could pester my husband.
And Storm asks, how was Amberlynn with her money? Does she have more put away than she leads on? Is she doing very well for herself?
Destiny said she could really control money. Like, she was really good at that. So let's see what Beck has to say.
Do you think that it's absolutely ridiculous that you left the apartment with $100 to your name knowing how well Amberlynn was doing?
Amberlynn was supposed to pay Beck for all the live stream that Beck did with her. But Amberlynn did not pay Beck. Amberlynn said that since Beck and her broke up, Beck had to pay for half of the expenses of the apartment for the month. And so she only gave Beck, I think it was $200 or something like that. And that was it, even though Beck was an employee, because Amberlynn, like somebody else, cannot carry their own live stream. Cannot do it. Has to have somebody there to bounce off of.
She did make a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know about now, but when I was with her, she did not save it. She would spend it, and it would just be on whatever random things she wanted. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I don't want to keep harping on this, but it is ridiculous that I only had $100.
Why is it ridiculous for you to keep talking about it? Keep talking about it. She spends money like it's going out of style. Like she can walk outside and go grab it off the tree. She does. Look at how many hauls she does. She buys stuff because she says she needs it, right? And then you'll see it just a little bit later and it's gone. She buys Legos for, $300, $400. And then she would just donate them for somebody else to do it. Oh, I'm done with this one. I've done it. And she just pile it all in a box. Oh, well, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. That's how Amberlynn is. So for her to only give you just a couple $100, that's bulldarnkey.
To move out on, because I didn't get any of the money from the live streams that I participated in. But I am just grateful to be out of that situation and in a better one now.
That is awesome, Beck. You are living a happy life from what I understand. From what I understand, you are, and I'm happy for you.
So that is the end of the Oh Lordy, It's Jordy Q&A video. I hope everyone enjoyed this video and made it to the end.
Yep, I certainly made it to the end, and I hope y'all made it to the end as well.
I want to thank Jordy again for setting this up and making this video for me to react to. I appreciate everyone who has been watching my channel, and I hope to see you all in the next one.
Well, Beck, I don't know who you're going to do the next one over. I still got to go and do Mr. Snowflake. And I got out of order on that one, didn't I? So, yeah, I got to still go back and do that one. But I hope this gave you a little bit more insight into Miss Amberlynn and how she kind of is. And, yeah, she is pretty horrible whenever it comes to Beck. I've heard little tidbits here and there from when Beck spoke out, here and there, not wanting to fully speak out, and make their own money on their channel because they didn't want to be blamed for that. And Amberlynn went ahead and did it anyways. But alrighty, guys, I am going to go pester my kids because they pester me sometimes. And everybody's saying it's snowing. Yeah, I think it's doing it everywhere, it seems. But I hope that y'all have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this and you remember to smile today. Or you make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. Okay, guys, y'all have a good one for me. Bye.